Welcome, food travelers, to episode here in Hanoi, Vietnam. In this episode, we head over to a restaurant called Redbean Ma Mei for lunch. There are actually 3 locations for this Redbean restaurant. There's one in the central, Hoi An, and the Ma Mei location, or also known as the Old Quarter area of Hanoi. And this restaurant is located inside the hotel La Siesta Classic Ma Mei. It is on the ground floor of the hotel, and the hotel is located in a very small alleyway. If you are taking a Grab ride share over here, expect some delays as the streets are very small and super busy. At the time of this recording and per the restaurant website, they open daily from 11:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on their website, it does state that this is a casual fine dining restaurant in Vietnam. And you'll notice that on the menu, the prices in Vietnam are shortened. So you have to mentally add in the 3 zeros to the end of wherever number you see on the menu.
As you mentioned, Micah, you said that it's fine casual. I mean, what does that mean in Vietnam? Does it mean the same thing as it does here in the States?
No, it's probably very similar to what you have experienced in Cambodia, where the fine casual meaning that it is fine because it's expensive, like the pricing are like 5 digits long. But then it's casual because it's still inside it's casually for Westerners, but who are probably staying in the hotel or staying close by the hotel. But yeah, this restaurant, I chose it because when I came to Vietnam with my parents, my mom was in a wheelchair, and a lot of the restaurants in Vietnam, they kind of like more like sitting on a very low table, and that's almost impossible for her to dine in. But so some of the items that I got here was I got the pan-seared foie gras. I got the bun cha, which is the Vietnamese dish with grilled pork and vermicelli noodles. And this restaurant I thought was pretty interesting. They had both Western items and the Vietnamese dishes, and they also offered set course menus as well.
So when you say like the tables, are you talking about like those kid tables that you see all around Southeast Asia where, you know, they're super low and, you know, you go out and eat like the street food type of thing? Or are you actually saying actual tables are just way too low compared to like what we have in the US, and so then it's just difficult being on a wheelchair?
Yeah, the first one where they're super low, they're like street food, and you pretty much you feel like you're squatting on the ground. You're sitting on these like it feels like it's like step stool, but they're not step stool, they're actual seats. and everyone's like so crowded and so tight together that as a Westerner, you'll probably feel like very uncomfortable. Yeah, in this scenario, I think because of the exchange rate, it doesn't feel like it's very expensive, I would say, because at the time of this recording, $1 is equivalent to almost 26,000 Vietnamese dong. So if you were to compare it to like any US restaurant, it just feels like you're at a normal restaurant dining in Seattle.
Oh, that's a pretty crazy exchange rate. Even with Cambodia with the Khmer Real, it's 4,000 Khmer Real to $1. So that 26,000, that's pretty crazy, which I guess is kind of good to know, since I really would like to visit Vietnam also myself, since I've never been there and it's always been a place that I kind of have on my target list of going to visit.
Yeah, so this other dish that I got is called the grilled salt and chili pork jowl. I'm sure you've had pork jowl before, Simon, and usually with pork jowl, you want that nice fatty texture to it. It makes it really tender, so when they grill it, the fat just renders through and it's just moist and juicy and everything. But in this scenario, this jowl that I got, I feel like they probably got this super lean meat and it was not that great. It felt really dry texture, almost like jerky like, but not quite that bad.
Yeah, looking at the video, Mike, I can see it doesn't look quite moist as you like it. Usually the jowl that I do get tend to be when I get Mexican food, and I get tacos, and I'll get the jalo meat. Even for sometimes with some barbecue, I'll get the jalo meat, and it's really nice. But it's definitely one you have to cook it, and you gotta watch it as you cook it, because if you overcook it, it does get really dry, and all the moisture kind of just bleeds all out, and then it just you're with this kind of dry beef jerky type meat, especially if it's been sitting and cooking for a long time, or you're kind of leaving it overnight. And from what I saw from the video, it did look like there was a lot of moisture that was lacking.
Yeah, for sure. And you see now in this video, this is the bun cha, which is that Vietnamese vermicelli noodles with the grilled pork. And this dish is pretty popular. I'm not sure if you've seen it, Simon, but this was a dish that President Obama and was dining with Anthony Bourdain at a local restaurant, and it became pretty popular from there on. It's not something that we see often here in Seattle either, because in Seattle mostly what we have is just pho and rice dishes. But I later found out that I was eating this incorrectly. I wasn't supposed to dunk the whole noodle in like soba or anything else. I'm supposed to eat it where the noodles and the meat is in the big bowl, and then I'm supposed to just slightly pour the sauce over it and not pour the whole thing on. I really didn't know what I was doing at this time. This was one of the early restaurants that I went to in Vietnam, so I really had no idea. And later on, one of the staff did come over and show me how I was supposed to eat it.
They actually do have a lot of dishes like that here in the States. The vermicelli, so that's the rice noodle, right? And it's pretty common. It usually comes with the sauce that you're talking about, right? It's a fish sauce, and depending on what other things you put into that sauce, you can make it taste a little different. It's quite popular here. It's just usually hidden kind of in the back of a lot of Vietnamese restaurants' menu. I get it quite a bit because I really do enjoy that. And you're right, it's not like a dunking. It's not like a soba noodle where you would take it and dunk it into the sauce and eat it. You'd have the ingredients, the noodles, and whatever ingredients, whether it's meat. Here in the States, I know a lot of it comes with either pork, with some fried spring rolls, and a few other things like a grilled shrimp or something else, depending on the combination you get. But yeah, you're supposed to take the fish sauce and then lightly pour it onto it and mix it up a bit, and then take a bite because you want to see how strong of the fish sauce flavor you want, and then you just kind of add more. So the mistake you would make would be like dunking it in, soaking everything up, and having it be too strong, where you want to start with a little bit, taste it, pour a little more as you want more, and then just keep adding to make it to the flavor that you like and you want.
Yeah, you described it exactly how it's supposed to eat, and so maybe later in a different video you'll see me eating it correctly. But overall, I did enjoy this restaurant. I feel like they had some hit and misses with the dishes, but staff was very, very accommodating. It was a really good location and definitely ADA friendly. So if you are looking for something with a little bit of Western and Vietnamese offering, check this one out. And to wrap up the episode are the notables. Unfortunately for this one, there are none.
If you've enjoyed the content you've seen, don't forget to support the channel and hit like and subscribe. And if you want to see additional pictures of food and our travels, go over to our Instagram page and follow us there. And thanks for watching.